Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special episode for you guys today. We got two of your favorites that I'm bringing back, favorites of the show. Tú sabes que tenemos aquí tengo que empezar con las damas, con Black Rose, sabes que she's a fan favorite. Ya I read the comments, all right? In the comments, like every time Black Rose is here, I love Black Rose. So, special shout out to Passion. She be watching and she's always commenting on the podcast video. So thank you so much for watching. If you're watching, you're coming here for the first time, welcome to the show. Today we have an interesting episode. We're gonna talk about a lot of things that's been going on, like Cardi B with her new song, Bodega Baddie is hitting the streets of New York City. We hear it all over the place. This past weekend, we talk about this past weekend. We had a couple of shows, which was fun. We shot a little video. Hopefully it goes viral. We hope it gets the attention of Cardi B. So let's see what happens with that. We're going to talk about Bad Bunny and his Super Bowl appearance. This is a big win for the community. Eric Adams dropping off in New York City as a mayor candidate. And the U.S. is buying out TikTok. How do we feel about that? What's going on? What can we expect from that? And I love TikTok. So another person that we have here today is Norberto Briseño, OG in the OG in the internet space, I would say. That's my brother. You know, him and I became tight back in 2016. We did a lot of content together, and for him to come back and being here, we're in New York City doing it, creating something new, a show, especially for you guys. So let's rip it up. Let's start it up. Que lo que, welcome.
Hueso.
This is like episode 14, I think it is.
What? For real?
I think it is, yeah.
Wow.
14 episodes?
Yeah, this is the first time you guys are together, bro.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've never met him before.
Yeah.
No, this is the
Hi.
first time. Wow,
My
we
name
shaking
is
hands.
Bodega. Nice
This
to
is
meet
so
ya.
formal.
You recommended to me by some people.
There we go. We're Gen
so-
Z.
Yeah,
We're
Gen
Gen
Z.
Z.
Ooh.
We're 22.
So let's start it off with Bad Bunny. I mean, like a Bad Bunny. Let's start it off with Cardi B. She got a new album out. Is that
Am
what
I
it
the
is?
drama?
Oh, tú sabes. And Black Rose, it was your idea or not? Whose idea was it of us to get together?
You know, number one, when Cardi dropped, I
Yeah.
think all of us thought, like, Bodega Baddie, we're going to do a video in that bodega. So I thought about it. And then Jazz calls me, Jasmine Ruiz. Shout out to our Boricua. She's Dominican by injection, I think, sometimes. But shout out to her. She called me and was like, Rose, I want to do this video. And I said, this is a great idea. I was going to do it, but we could do this together. We're going to have to call all the guys. All the Dominicans.
And it was like, it was you, me, Yvonne, Tommy was in it.
Yes, Da
Tava.
Vinci.
It's the first time I did a video with Da Vinci.
Yeah?
You know, that's not like that is a skit.
That
I would
is a
love to
skit.
do a skit with Da Vinci. I think.
And Da Vinci usually, you guys know, Da Vinci has always prided himself on just kind of doing videos on his own, like when it comes to the skit things.
Yeah.
So it was cool to see him also like pull
For
up
everybody else.
to do this. Yeah, I loved it. And Juju, right? We had Juju, Ivan,
Juju.
you,
That was the
Tommy,
first day I met
Jasmine. Juju's such a cutie patootie.
Sweetheart.
And our Habibi. You know, the deli that we got to do it in
It was
is
a
the
Habibi Deli.
Yes, and that was the deli that Cardi did her appearance. She pulled up to her old block. She grew up around that neighborhood. That's
Okay.
why they had all the decals on the doors and the banners, because that is the store that she stood in front of, and the crowd, the community pulled up. So, you know, Jasmine was like, let's do it at this store. I said, oh, inteligente la chamaquita.
It was pretty cool to go back there and I saw like Cardi B's banner. I love Cardi
Yeah.
B because like she represents the people, bro. Like, and she gets a lot of shit sometimes, but I'm like, yo, like it's dope to see a Dominican woman, bro. Like she represented us and she's authentically her, bro.
Always.
I think that's how
Always.
a lot of people fuck with her. And that,
Yeah.
and also I feel like it's an homage, bro. Like I think that song Bodega Baddie is not only a baddie, it's an homage for Dominican women, the culture here in New York City, and it's also like the song itself.
Yeah.
It's an Oro Solido song, right? Is it? Or isn't it like
Oro
Proyecto
Sólido.
Uno? Proyecto
Yo creo
Uno.
que Proyecto Uno.
It's a Proyecto Uno song.
Yeah. It just reminded me of the baby shower times. Did you get to hear like the whole song and
Yeah.
album? I don't like some of the feedback that I was seeing from some people, like I guess jumping on the bandwagon. Oh, what's up with this album? I'm like, I love this album. It literally broke down her story.
Yeah.
of everything that kind of has been happening the past 8 years that she hasn't dropped. And the thing is, maybe for me, it's different. You know, yo soy una dominicana. I did live in the Bronx as well. And I used to promote Club Divas, which is a gentleman place. You know, strippers were there. And that's when I first met Cardi. So, like,
you met Cardi personally.
I've seen her grow, and she was always the best dressed dancer, very quiet, very small, very friendly. And then she started doing skits online, right? Just being herself. And, you know, people were making fun of certain things in her appearance. And then, you know, she got her teeth fixed and you know, she just blew up. And I feel like we have to support our people. Especially somebody that's so authentic. Money has not changed her. She has grown as an individual and a very smart businesswoman. So she knows what she's doing when she says certain things out and about. Pero que eso es ella.
And then she doesn't shy away from being. Oh, that's why I love. She don't shy away of being Dominican.
She's also not trying to package herself for like mainstream culture, and I think that's an important thing to take into account. Like even her appearance in court,
yes,
it was just it's so real. Like yo, and the thing is, she's not trying to be funny, but that's just her personality shining through. And I think that's something that people love, especially like the Latino community. That's something that we always gravitate towards, is that authenticity. Well, even with Bad Bunny right now, right? Like the thing is, a lot of these people are very much themselves. They're not trying to package themselves for the world.
For the world, for everybody else. It's like, oh, okay, I'm true to myself, but also raising up the bar. And you know what? We could still get into it. Let's get into the Bad Bunny whole thing. Like the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl. This is a big year for Bad Bunny. Yeah, Bad Bunny has demonstrated to like the world, bro, that us Latinos were a powerhouse. A powerhouse, bro. For him to do a 30-day residency, I think he raised over 400. He injected like more than $400 million in Puerto Rico itself, bro.
And the first few ones were just for Puerto Rican residents, which is to show how much he loves and respects his Puerto Rican people. And, you know, everybody wondering, oh, but why didn't he do one in New York, in the United States? Because he's an honorable man, and he was literally afraid of ICE coming into the concert to take his people. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't. He was like, there's no need to do one in the United States, but now the Super Bowl.
What do you guys think? What do you think is Bad Bunny's mission? Because he's definitely an activist, bro. Like he came from the streets, from the hood. Like he used to bag, bags in the grocery store.
Yeah.
You know, he came out as a trap artist, right? And it was hood.
No tenía pelo corto,
but also that's what hip hop was all about in the beginning, is like speaking truth to power, right? You know, but what do you guys think is Bad Bunny's goal? What is he trying to do, and what message is he trying to portray? I wonder, right?
I mean, just think about it. Like he cares about Puerto Rico. Like that's his thing, right? And one of the things that I do appreciate is that he's a mainstream artist. He knows he's got the platform to be able to use it to better his community. And I think we see that time and time again. Now, this is not to say like I think there's been criticisms in the past of like, well, he hasn't spoken up about this issue and that issue and that issue. But at the same time, I'm just kind of like, he knows what he cares about. And I think that's an important thing to recognize, because not a lot of people in that environment are able to do that.
Yeah.
But he's doing that. He's putting, he's not only like speaking for the cause of Puerto Rico, but he's also, injecting money into the economy of Puerto Rico. He's walking the walk.
He's talking the talk, but he's also walking the walk, bro.
And the thing is, he doesn't care to be judged about, with the Debí Tirar Más Foto album, like people were kind of like, oh, why is he doing salsa? Why is he doing this? I don't like the style that he used. He's like, I'm not trying to be like anyone else. This is just my interpretation of this. And this is why I did the song like this. But this is what we get from Bad Bunny. He keeps he keeps branding himself with different subjects that he wants to represent in each album. I think each album kind of shows that. But it's always gonna go back to his Puerto Rican people. Debí Tirar Más Foto is definitely like, wow, remember how things used to be back in the days. And look at the gentrification that's happening in Puerto Rico now.
Wow.
You know, and he has spoken about things with Ice. Like he does it his own way, and
Mhm.
I think we gotta stop expecting celebrities to have to touch every single subject.
And what was
Yeah.
the backlash that he was getting? Like,
It's not necessarily backlash, but there's criticisms, right? Like,
yeah,
why hasn't he spoken about this? Like, there's a plethora of issues that are out there right now
yeah,
in the
yeah.
world that they can be talking about. And the thing is, I think it's unrealistic to expect our celebrities to talk on every single subject.
Everything. Yeah,
The
verdad.
thing is, he's focused in on his issues that he wants to focus in on, and he walks the walk.
He walks the
And I
walk.
think that's something that is commendable.
Mhm.
But that's the thing about him. He's not packaging himself out for mainstream consumption. He's
Yeah.
being real to himself. He's
Mm.
being real to Puerto Rico, and I think that's something that I don't know, that like you respect that.
I remember when I first talked to him and I asked him a question. I said, "Bad Bunny, what makes you different from everybody else?" And he said, "I always change my style."
Yeah.
And it makes sense now. Like now that I think about, because when he first told me that, I thought his style was in looks. I thought styles in looks. No, he talk about style and everything, music, because he came
Yeah.
as Latin trap artist, reggaeton. He also did dembow. It took that shit to number one. Now he's also doing bomba, salsa. And even though people could say whatever they want about his salsa, whatever, bro. First of all, like he did salsa right.
I loved it.
I loved it. He did it justice because he went back to what salsa was, and salsa was jazz. And he had
Yeah.
that in his music. He had jazz style salsa in the sense that every instrument had his moments, that we lost that essence of salsa. He brought that back there. I was like, whoa, I appreciated that. And two, I always like Latinos, bro. I don't think people I was like in the train yesterday, right? And I was sitting down. And I was going to a show at the stand, and I was listening to this song called by Oscar de Leon. Sigue tu camino y déjame en paz. And how beautiful it is. I was like, man, it's so beautiful to be Latino and listening to these rhythms and I don't know, synchronicity and the
Yeah.
trumpets and everything. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. And then Bad Bunny did the right thing in bringing that shit back.
Mhm.
And he's showing how fluid we are, how beautiful we are. But he also showed how powerful we are.
Yep.
Because for him, one artist to inject $400 million to Puerto Rico,
Yep.
him himself, that his government and the government of Puerto Rico couldn't do that.
Could not do it.
That
They
United
chose
States
not to do that.
that chose not to do that. For him, the Latino buying power is like at $3.4 trillion today. Can you imagine us as Latinos understood the power that we have when it comes to buying power? Because Bad Bunny is demonstrating that.
Yep.
I mean, he's demonstrating the fact that Puerto Rico doesn't need to go out to the world. The world will come to Puerto
Come
Rico.
to- that's his-
Exacto.
that
And
was
I think
the
that's the
statement.
beauty of that.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of the residency that he did, the 31-day residency.
And it was beautiful. Did you see how like they were selling the tickets when they first dropped? It was like package deals, like hotels y todo.
No
That's
way.
why they like you were able to get your VIP tickets and book your hotel stay. Like it was just so seamless and such a smart idea. And then at the end, for him to stream it for free, the last one.
The last one. Bro, and Amazon, it also broke records, didn't it?
Broke records.
All the watch parties. I didn't watch it at the watch parties because I had my show Bad Bunny. Why? I don't know why you chose the same day as my Say Something comedy show to do this. But it's okay.
Pues de maldad que lo hizo, solo
Sí,
para que tú no lo
porque él
veas.
sabía.
Él
Él
sabía,
sabía
él
que yo
sabía.
tenía mi show ese día. But no, my show went great, guys. I had a great crowd. We had like 60 people there. But after, we went to a bar. And all the screens at the bar, it's like everywhere. It was a watch party. It doesn't matter how small or big. The screens were paying attention. The first thing, when I walked into the bar, I just heard the bombas. Y estaba yo ahí vienen los santos. Ahí vienen los santos. You know what I'm saying? I was like, ¿y qué esto? Oh my God, it's Bad Bunny. What? Stuck on the
That
screen.
was beautiful.
Eating wings. I was just like this.
That was so beautiful. Like even the look, the camera, like the cinematography, everything about it was beautiful. It's definitely a moment in history, because what we like here in the United States, I feel like there's a lot of shit against Latinos. There's a lot of propaganda going against us, right? And I stand with him and him being like, I'm not doing shows. here in the United States. I get it. You see what I'm saying? And even for us, like here in the United States of America, like that this weekend, we had a show called Dominican versus Puerto Rico, and it's been selling out, bro. Like Dominicans and then Puerto Ricans coming together, and we're putting a show together. Yola is spearheading that shit. He's the one that put it together. Brought Puerto Rican comedians, brought Dominican comedians, brought them together. We had it was like 5 shows that were sold out in New Jersey right now. It was this weekend, this past weekend.
Yeah.
Record numbers that even the comedy club was like, bro, like even they called the club up. They were like, how come we're making that much money? Because you know why? Because Latinos spend money.
They spend money. Y beben. Y comen.
Y bebe, yeah.
And they know how to support and celebrate. And it's just beautiful when we join together, join hands, because sometimes people try to say como los boricos y los dominicanos don't get along. But eso no es verdad. I don't know. True. I've always gotten along with my Puerto Ricans. And I've seen my Puerto Ricans really love, like, I don't know, between all our friends, I feel like we all love each other and do support each other. So I don't understand why people think or still have that stigma, like, we can't.
You know, yeah, I think it's because they're privileged. Like you always been around. Like if you're Dominican, you always been around Puerto Ricans, like in New York City,
especially in New York.
Yeah, go to another place where there's no Dominicans. You're gonna see how you feel when you see a Puerto Rican flag. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? When I was in San Diego the first time and there was no Dominicans, and the first time I saw a Puerto Rican flag, I was like, oh shit, I'm home. Yeah. Like I was lost for a second. I saw Puerto Ricans, and there was mad Puerto Ricans there. And you know what they did? They took me in. And the holidays, yo estaba comiendo arroz con guandule, plátano, pernil. I was basking in my culture, and the Puerto Ricans brought me in. They treated me like family. That's how I always have a special spot for Puerto Rico.
Porque son tus primos.
Son primos.
Sí.
Son primos de nosotros.
What's your background?
I'm Mexican.
I must have been a Mexican stripper in my past life. I love tacos, and I like walking around my house naked.
That's what I do all day. Aquí con un taco aquí.
Familia.
You eat tacos
así
naked?
Colgado, así no. Because that's what because I'm Mexican. That's what I do.
I'm telling you.
Colgado.
¿Dónde están las carnitas? In between his legs. In between his legs.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. There was one that did a video con Norberto. We did a papi chulo. I'm gonna talk about that.
I want to see this now.
Bro, qué horrible.
Dígame.
We did a papi chulo transformation. And then we got him some white pants. And then he came out.
Some very tight white pants.
You got some thick legs, papi.
It's very tight.
Bro. And después, the pants split his thing apart. The comments were all the women
oh my
like,
God, he had a camel?
Norberto, we didn't know.
The snake emoji. That's the snake emoji. Oh.
Other comments was like, moose knuckle.
Yeah, that's why I don't get a tummy tuck, because that's what, se me va a ver esa vaina más grande.
We're waiting for Norberto to come out with an OnlyFans.
No. Well, you never know. In this economy, you never know.
What
You never know.
Listen, we'll make an AI.
We'll make an AI.
OnlyFans for you and for me.
Yeah.
Do you get any DMs after that shit?
Of course. I think that was the first time that I started getting DMs.
What?
And I think that was the thing that was just like, oh, this is weird. I don't like this.
They were like,
what?
What did
they say? What are the DMs?
It's a winky face.
Was it men as well?
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
Not gonna lie. All right. I was flattered. I was flattered. I was flattered. But then I started, got a little too weird.
What was the weirdest thing you got?
I can't remember. It was over 10 years ago at this
point. Did you get any videos or pictures?
Did anybody send you pics?
I've gotten videos. I've gotten videos before. And I think that's the part that I was just like, this is strange.
What was the videos?
A guy or a girl?
It was a girl.
Oh, okay. He wasn't ready for that attention.
I wasn't ready. No.
I'd be happy with the videos I get.
Pero tú no lo ves que él se ve que es el niño de Dios. Tú es otra cosa.
No, tú tenés que ver esa
vaina.
Un
santo, soy aquí.
Ese tipo salió con un paquete que ni Amazon puede deliver that shit.
Si tú quieres colar café, cuélame ese paquete.
It was a prime deal. That's what that was.
That was a prime deal.
That was Jasmine's Moments Coffee. Shout out to Jazz's Cafe.
So right now, Eric Adams dropping out of the major race. What do you think, Norberto? I know you got some things to say about that.
No, I mean, I think it's look. The whole thing is ridiculous. I think the way that first off, I don't think it's a secret. I like Zoran. I like his platforms. I think they're incredible. I think it's refreshing to hear somebody talk like that to inspire hope. And I think we saw that in the primaries, that there was this man that was delivering something that I loved hearing from a politician. And I'm just like, you know what? We can talk all day about what he can't do, but you know what? At the end of the day, I need that energy right now.
Exactly.
And I think that's what I appreciate about it. And I think the Democratic Party right now is being ridiculous right now, right? With Andrew Cuomo, trying to come back in as an independent.
Doesn't make sense.
The city spoke already.
The city
Wait.
spoke.
I didn't even know this. So
Yes.
Andrew Cuomo is trying to come back in.
Yeah,
right.
he's back on the
ballot?
mayoral race. This is the thing. I had the pleasure of meeting Zoran directly. When I first saw Zoran campaigning online, I'm like, I emailed them. I was like, me as a content creator, what do you need to help you?
Yeah.
And I wasn't asking for money or anything like that. They were like, just post about it. I started sharing some of the things. And then shout out to Carmen de la Rosa. You guys know that I do a lot of activism for stuff in our community. So she called me in. She called Jasmine Ruiz in. And we got to campaign a little bit with Zoran. And it's like you're saying, it's such a refreshing energy that we see from someone that's speaking up for our community without sugarcoating anything. And he's, he has all these propositions that I think it doesn't hurt to try because we've tried everything else. And mind you, listen, I've gotten to meet Major Adams. I did a community event once for Dominican comics and did a free show for the community. And he popped up on me talking about, I see everything you're doing. Great job. We welcome this man. They had the song New York. I got roasted. As soon as that happened, everybody was like, why are you supporting this? And I was like, it's not me supporting him. I had a show. Adams pulled up. Let's see what could come out of this. Nothing. It was just a moment of him using us. To try to make it seem like he's gonna help.
There is a video. I don't know if you guys seen it. And it is circulating right now. And Zoran was sitting down with Jorge Ramos. And Jorge Ramos was asking him, do you think Nicolas Maduro is a dictator? And I feel like Zoran and it looks like, it doesn't look good for Zoran because it looks like he was evading the question. I don't know. You seen the video?
I've seen the video.
What do you think about that? Because he was also asking about the Cuban dictator. What's his name? I forgot his name. Whatever. But so he was asking them like, "Yo, like, do you see will you call these people a dictator?"
I think there's a couple of layers here. One of them being that it's interesting to see first off a lot of journalists asking him about foreign policy. Yeah. When in the reality, this dude is running for mayor of New York
City. Yeah,
and I think that's the thing that sometimes people forget. On the other hand, the thing is, Zoran gives nuanced answers. He doesn't give you a sugar-coated yes or no answer, which is what a lot of people want. And that's the thing about it. This world isn't that simple.
It's not a yes or no
I think
situation.
It's very much, and the thing is, how are you going to compare what's happening in Venezuela to what's happening in Cuba, right? It's different circumstances. But at the end of the day, that shit don't matter because he's not running foreign policy for the United States. He is running for mayor of New York
City.
New York City.
But why do we see a lot of that's crazy because I was watching Andrew Cuomo, Netanyahu came into New York City and Andrew Cuomo greeted this man. Like what's up with, and Eric Adams I think also did the same thing. Yeah, but we're seeing them cozying up to foreign policies. Why are we seeing that?
Because they don't want to release the Epstein's files. Because all our money is going to Israel, and it's so weird. You could just see the manipulation, and it really bothers me that they think that we're dumb. We don't get it. And then they want to silence us. As soon as somebody speaks up against these things that we are seeing happening, then, we're anti-Semitic. We're anti this. No, that's not the case. I have friends that are Jewish that I respect. You know why? Because they also believe everything that's happening is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to these bigger corporations and politics and foreign policies, all this stuff, at the end of the day, the reason why these people are backing all these people up is because they probably have stuff on them that they don't want exposed.
Mm-hmm.
And I just can't wait for it, like a reset button to be cleared for all these people to get exposed.
Mm-hmm.
They talk about everything but what they need to speak about.
I mean, always remember that debate, the first one for the primaries of New York City, right? Where is it that you want to go? Where do you want to
Where do
travel
you
to?
want to travel to?
Everyone's Israel, Israel,
Israel,
Israel,
Israel.
Israel. Zoran? No, I'm staying here in
Yeah,
New
New York
York,
City.
and serving New York City
Well, do you
Jewish
believe that Israel should
community.
become
Yeah.
a state? You know, he was like, I am going to be talking to the Jewish community in New York City.
That's
See
weird.
what
Does
they
that-
need.
That's so weird. Does that mean that Israel? Do you think Israel is funding like New York based? Like, are they making money from?
No,
Netanyahu?
we are funding them.
Yeah.
Israel has free health care
Mm-hmm.
funded by the United States. Like,
For real?
we are giving most of our funds to Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, our tax dollars are going to Israel, which is also funding a genocide.
Mm.
And so the thing is also there's this group called APAC
Mhm.
that is funding a lot, that is giving a lot of money to a lot of these politicians.
Mm.
That's why you have people like Richie Torres, for example, speaking out, like he's speaking out for Israel
Mm.
in a way that is just like this, like you can't believe the
Who's
the
Richie
things that's-
Torres?
Richie Torres is a congressman,
Mm-hmm.
and from New York.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing was with him, he's that he was a very progressive politician, and
Mm.
still is to this day. However, when it comes to the issue of Israel, he is a diehard Israeli fanatic, and it doesn't make any sense until you see the contributions that APAC have given him,
Oh.
and then suddenly you're like, okay,
Ah.
it's interesting to see who stands up for Israel.
The math starts mathing.
That's weird to have like Israel and APAC like funding. Like that should be illegal. Isn't that illegal in a way?
No.
Like
No,
it's not.
it's not illegal. It's we can get into it, but it's a lot of court cases that made this happen.
Mm.
Right? We have a lot. There's a lot of like Citizens United being a big court case that
Mhm.
essentially enabled this type of funding.
Yeah.
Mm.
And the thing is, like, again, one of the things that a lot of progressive people want is money out of politics, so that we don't have to, so that politicians can't be bought like this.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a lot of undoing that we are not prepared for.
Right.
What was interesting that I saw like I think that Israel took I think 150 congressmen and women to Israel and they pay for the trip and they get like that's like weird to me. I don't know if you guys heard about that.
Well, they, if you are part of them as well, like they offer them like a free trip to Israel, like if you're Jewish, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So they must have some type of collaboration, that they don't, maybe they are using some of the money or maybe it's free. I don't know. But that's always been like the thing to go over there. Just like how, how people will be like, oh, we're always going to go home to our homeland.
Mm-hmm.
For them, it's that. So if Congress is funding most of it, of course, they're going to find a way to take everyone over there and explain their history and story and get to see everything that happened, which was unfortunate, everything that happened to the Jewish people a few years back. I just don't understand how they don't see what they're doing to Palestine.
I definitely think that there's something to be said about, like if private citizens want to go out there and understand that story, go to Israel. Like there's nothing wrong with
There's
that.
nothing wrong with it. Yeah.
I get weirded out when it's politicians, when it's our
Yeah.
elected officials that are
That
participating
part.
in this.
Yeah.
Because it's like, no, wait, stay here and service our communities.
Yeah.
Like that's what you got elected for.
Mhm.
But also, like, at the end of the day, this isn't about this isn't a anti-Semitic. This isn't about being anti-Jewish in the least bit.
Mhm.
It's more about calling out. It was essentially a genocide.
The genocide.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were talking about. I was just watching earlier today. I was watching John Oliver, and it was talking about that this administration sent $3.4 billion to Israel and it's funding this genocide. And it scared me because I was like, coño, that these people, like, for the past 2 years, they've been under attack and killing innocent people, right? And I'm like, fuck. So what? We're gonna spend 3 more years doing something like this? What, like,
The
I
thing
feel
is,
like,
even before that, the United States has always funded Israel. We're
yeah,
now getting to see how much they are funding it because of the genocide that they want to deny is a genocide. They're
yeah,
so busy trying to say, we just want, you don't think Israel deserves to become a state? It's not that they don't deserve it, but if you becoming a state means abolishing another community of people, then no.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
it-
just that simple.
Like they're bombing hospitals, they're bombing kids, they're bombing like it's
the
just
media, everything, like
ethnic cleansing.
ethnic cleansing. They can't report anything. They're killing the kids. They're killing the press. They're killing everyone, all because everyone's Hamas.
they cut off aid.
Wow.
Like they're cutting off people who are there to just feed people.
The
like
flotilla
the
trying
flotilla.
to make it over there. We had some people, and some of them I did actually know in the flotilla.
What's the flotilla?
The flotilla is a group of people from different countries getting together on a boat to go help the people in Palestine. They are not crossing Israel waters, but they are hovering over it. So Israel is stopping the boats from reaching to give people aid so they could
Wow.
actually make it to them through the beach,
Wow.
through their beaches. They're
Yeah.
trying to make it over there through the beaches. They have stopped a few of them. They've droned them. They've tried to they try to burn the ships. And right now, as we're speaking, there's 45 flotillas. There's 45 boats from different countries, including Mexico, going to try to break the siege. And let's see, they were able to stop the first 2 or 3, but can they stop 45 boats at once? Is that gonna,
I heard Italy was providing support to
Mhm.
Yeah.
protect them. Yeah, because it's like again, they're
getting
they're,
serious.
they're cutting off aid to people in need. That's
Yeah.
That
what
are
it is.
starving.
Yeah. Damn, what do you guys think is gonna happen next? Like, where's the end of this?
Diosito, yo no sé.
Quién sabe. It's gonna. The thing is, right? Like, it's gonna continue. This has been happening.
This been happening.
It's
Yeah.
not, even before October 7th and what happened there. Like, this has been a situation, but I think now more than ever, there's a lot of attention to it,
Mm.
and I think now we're waking up to like, oh, look at the atrocities that are happening over there, but also look at how much money we are sending over there. How our tax dollars are funding this, and then also how much money Israel is giving to our politicians
Mm.
and buying up our politicians.
And you know what's crazy? I think this is the one situation that I am seeing like a lot of right and left agreeing in this. You know what I'm saying? Are you guys seeing the same thing?
Finally, like with certain things, especially what happened with Kirk, right? That there's just certain things that I'm seeing the right and left agreeing on finally, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we need to keep our money here. They're sending all this money out away to this other country, but they're cutting our school fundings here.
Yeah.
They're cutting our fundings for welfare
Mm-hmm.
for people. And guys, I don't know if you guys done this research, but it's not necessarily the blacks and Latinos that are using welfare as much as that other community,
Yeah. White
Mhm.
folks. You can say white.
Jewish and white. Yeah, they
Okay.
they are big in that field as well. So of course, it kind of always comes back to bite them in the ass in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That was just my logic. I was like, oh, all this stuff is happening. They're cutting all our funding. But then when you look at the statistics of who's really on welfare, who's really, using this money, like it's not necessarily been us.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Yeah, there's a lot of we're very much like black and brown people have always been scapegoated as the people that are using up these resources
Bruh.
and
But
this
it's-
funding, or illegal immigrants, and it's just like, this it's
Yeah.
kind of ridiculous. And the thing is, those lies get spewed so much that it's hard to counteract that.
Yeah.
These
because you
it's
say
lies
a
and
lie so much.
misinformation. It's what it is.
Yeah. Like there's a propagandist like for Hitler, that said, you say a lie so many times it becomes reality.
It becomes reality. Yeah.
Mhm.
right? And they believed in that. And I feel like, and then talk about propaganda, that's where we are. I feel like, with TikTok being bought, I think that is the route that we're going
What do
on.
you think of the United States owning TikTok?
Oh man, I think I'm more afraid of it because I'm like we are so controlled by social media. Like even myself, like I can't even get off. Like last night, I want to sleep at 4 o'clock in the morning. I put the
Doom
phone down,
scrolling.
doom scrolling. I put the phone down here. That's it. I'm done. I'm doom scrolling. I'm done. I put it down. Yeah, but 10 minutes later, you thought, and I'm like, how the fuck did I get? I don't even remember
What?
how I started scrolling. You see what I'm saying? And I was like, and then now that the government now is programming, they could program us like this is so strong, and they could feed any information to us that they want. And then I think we are under an administration that doesn't shy away from that. They don't care. I feel like they don't care about what this is what we want because they tell you straight up. They're like, esto es malo. I would like to put out more propaganda when it comes, which is more right leaning. Or like we had Trump. Trump went on Fox News the other day. Like he was like, you know what, the radical right, they have a point to be radical. Like there's like we're talking about man that this is not a stable person.
But if
That
it's a radical left, it's a problem.
yeah. So it's like yeah, he said that's exactly what he said. The radical left is the problem.
It's okay when we do it, but it's not,
not
okay when they do it.
And the thing is that you're the president of all Americans, bro. Like
Exacto.
you're the president. Bring down the temperature, do something, talk, unite us. We're not gonna get that. We're not gonna get that from him.
Bring
right?
Obama back.
He's the thing. That's the thing about it.
Yeah.
This man is the point of no return at this point.
Yeah.
Right. He's had plenty of opportunities to bring people together. He's not going to do it. He actively hates Democrats. He actively hates the left.
Yeah.
He's already made it clear that that's what he wants. Right.
I hate my enemies.
He celebrated the fact that Joe Biden has cancer, and that's the thing about it. I disagree with a lot of things that Joe Biden does. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I am not supporting the Democratic Party,
Yes.
but
Let's talk about that too.
you have the opportunity as the president, right, as the commander in chief, to bring people together, and you fucking don't do it.
Don't do it.
Because that man actively wants everybody divided.
Yeah, because he benefits from it.
He
Of
just
course he
wants to
benefits.
remain a celebrity like how he always was. He
Yeah.
forgot to step out of being a celebrity to actually being a leader.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. And we all remember that even when he was just Trump, the billionaire that everybody loved, what did he say? If I ever ran, I would run Republican because they're the dumbest.
Yeah.
Right?
The funny thing is,
They'll listen to anything.
when I
he
would,
says.
I was in my entrepreneur phase, and I was like a big Trump lover at that time, right? And I got all his book, The Art of the Deal. I even got pictures of George Ross, I think it was, like, his attorney, listening to stories about him, right? And there was a time I remember I was like, yo, he should run for president because he's a billionaire, and that was my mentality at that time, right?
It's so funny. Like you and like a bunch of like people that I know that like they all love Trump because he was like this image of success and power.
Business, smart businessman.
And he did a good job in putting himself in that position, like his brand.
He sold it.
He sold
the image.
Yeah, he did a great job in selling the image, and then I was like, yo, because I'm like, at that time I was like, America's a business. He's a billionaire. That's how I saw it, like, but that didn't take into account of where healthcare, right? That people's livelihoods are affected. Like you sound like real repercussions. Like, yeah, okay. At that time, I was like, oh, he's a successful businessman, but I didn't put two and two together. Like, okay, running a country is something completely different. Also, I did not expect this level of division, and there's no emphasis in trying to bring people together is dangerous, right? Yeah, it's okay, we could have difference of opinion, bro. Like I'm used to, like, I remember when 9/11 happened, George Bush came out and brought everybody together. Yeah, Giuliani did a great job in bringing people together. Rudy Giuliani, when the 9/11 happened, you see what I'm saying? But then to see this today, like Erica Kirk went up and she's like, I forgive my enemies. I felt relieved that she did that, because she's talking to a public people that are hurt, and she's like, I forgive this Tyler Robinson
I
guy.
have my own opinions.
Yeah,
about
but
her
you also
in that whole situation.
that helps and
Truly.
it helps a little bit because now
I
we
was
have
waiting for them to just
because
finish
turn
saying-
around, you have the president going like she's forget. I don't forgive anybody. Like I hate my enemies. And then he's also talking about like Venezuelans need to get out of here. They're like ruining this country. You need to get and talk about these bad things about Latinos and Venezuelans at the same time while people are hurt. Like it's just feeding, echándole más leña al fuego, bro.
Sí.
And it's like, yeah, I don't think people look at this and be like, yo, this is the man that's leading all of this. And you're like his words have a lot of weight, but you're taking a blind eye. Turning a blind eye to the things he's saying. Right.
And that's the thing. He's a president. He like, and regardless, and I think that's why sometimes even like in the past, like Republicans that you don't agree with, they're still the president. They brought people together. There was a philosophical differences, right?
Yeah.
And we can get into that, but one of the things that Trump has done is very much like it's at a point where he says he hates his enemies.
Yeah.
And that tells you everything that this man stands for.
He goes straight to just Trump. I have always said it, and I think we all agree should just do stand up. Right?
He can continue being a celebrity. He can
celebrity.
continue being on reality TV.
Because the man is hilarious.
Like, all right.
He says the craziest things.
And it's
like
hilarious.
he always just insults people when he doesn't have a credible statement. He just insults.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. He's like a little kid.
No, but he lies. He's told so many lies that we forget the lies that he said. Remember when he said that Haitians were eating dogs?
Yeah, verdad.
They're eating the hot dogs and the cats.
Yeah, it's just like what the fuck is this man doing?
Yeah.
And I think like and that's the thing that we forget. It's like the other thing is that I remember seeing a report on the fact that there were a lot of like Latino men who voted for Trump because he was entertaining. And I'm like, yo, I do not want my elected officials to be entertaining.
No.
I need them to do their job. I need them to do what they're elected to do. They're to service the community. I don't need them to be funny.
Want him to be your Papi Trump?
Yeah, I don't need this dude to be a fucking celebrity. I don't need him to entertain me. I need him to do his fucking job.
Yeah.
And the thing is, nos vamos con la finta. And a lot of Latino men were like, no, but he's just funnier, right? Kamala Harris is boring. I don't like Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
She looks mad all the time. It's like, what the fuck? Like, listen to the policies. Listen to what they are offering the country.
Nowadays, people don't care about that. They care about like, are you charismatic or not?
I think a lot of people were also just done with a lot of the things that the Republicans were also doing and standing behind. And I remember when the Kamala situation came up, what I saw a lot of, especially like the black community were like, well, she arrested so many people, black people, and this, what is she really gonna do for us? And okay, I get wanting to ask those questions, but then they pushed that rhetoric so much that it made people that probably would have voted Democrat kind of either go Republican or not vote. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have all those things happening, and then after all of it happened, and how many months we have with Trump in office now, people are like, oh, Kamala was right.
Yeah, Kamala was right.
She warned us.
Yeah.
That this was going to happen. She warned us that he was going to be this aggressive.
Yep.
Because every president has deported people. Obama has deported way more people than Trump has.
But now Trump le ganó, yeah.
But that's the thing about it.
It's how it's being done.
I think it also has to do with the fact that I believe all politicians, regardless of your political affiliation, regardless of your party, you need to be asking questions. You need to be poking at them. You need to be demanding more of them, regardless of who they are. Yeah, you have to hold them accountable. And it doesn't matter the party. It doesn't matter the Democrat, Republican, Independent. Doesn't matter. They have to be held accountable, and you have to ask a lot of questions and always push back. The thing is, we conveniently forget to do that when it comes to Trump. A lot of people conveniently suddenly don't care, don't ask too many questions about Trump.
What do you think that is? Like, how did we get here? Like,
they're in the Epstein files.
I didn't think we got here, bro. Like,
ay, Dios, perdóname.
I mean, yeah, release the Epstein files. That he ran on that.
Yeah, he ran on that.
He ran on releasing the
Yeah.
Epstein files.
And
Yeah.
now,
¿Y ahora
actually,
qué?
we don't want to release the files because the left.
It's a hoax all of a
It's a
sudden.
hoax
of
It's
the
a
left.
hoax.
I think he does. He knows what he's doing. I think he knows what he's doing. Especially like when he talks about immigrants and the way that he talks about like they're terrorists. There's a reason why he uses the term terrorists, right? Illegal every time when it comes to and specifically it's always Latinos that they're talking about, right? There's a point to doing all of this because you need, especially to have a cult, you need to have a certain type of enemy. And the enemy is always the left or is marginalized people, is the immigrants, the undocumented immigrants, the trans folks, is gay people, right? You see what I'm saying? Like, I always notice, like, every time they talk about immigrants, it's always like, oh, the terrorists attached to it purposely, and he knows why he does it. We all know why
he paints villains.
But
Villains.
who are
paints
the
villains all
real
the time.
terrorists? We just had 4 school shootings 2 days ago.
Yeah.
I mean, we have 4 mass shootings 2 days ago.
We
Church
did?
and school. Just 2 days ago, bro.
Mhm.
2 days ago.
4. When the Charlie Kirk incident happened, another one happened that same day as well.
And again, no.
And it's never us.
Nah.
It is the real terrorists are right here, and they're from this country.
They're domestic.
It's very domestic, and they're not black or brown people,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not gays. There is not the LGBTQ community, so they're always going to deflect to point towards us and the minorities. But it's really them that is doing it, and I feel like a lot of people. My algorithm shows me the white people that stand up for us, and I really appreciate that
Mm-hmm.
because they're seeing it, and that's what goes back to your point. Some Republicans and Democrats are finally agreeing. So are we pivoting finally? Are we finally gonna pivot, or are we gonna forget with the next trend?
I don't know. When you're programmed, like if you're able to forgive, like if you turn a blind eye to all this man has said and done, and you never hold him accountable, like what do you think why is it gonna start happening now? Watching videos about what a lot of things that Charlie Kirk has said, and he's the way that he did it with like it was propaganda that he was spreading. He would say something extremely racist, and then the next line he made it seem like this is not something I want to think. But he just said something completely racist. We're like, that's not something that I believe in. I'm like, you just said this. So it was like he masqueraded the dog whistle, right? But he was great at being a propagandist. He didn't care about stats and data. We live in a world that people don't care about data no more.
I think his own people set him up. Once
You think his own people set him up?
His own people set him up after allegedly, after he started to speak up against Israel, and like now his wife has taken over. I feel like 2 days later, that was a whole show to me. That whole service, and
Yeah, it was weird.
now that you're looking at her background, this girl did one of the pageants back when she was 17. Ran under Trump. Right, the pageant was under Trump. Then she went to another country so they could open up a thing for kids, like displaced kids. And that country dismissed her after like a year or 2 because kids were missing.
For real?
Check TikTok.
How much of that? It's probably a conspiracy. Is that real? What do you think, Norberto?
That's why I said allegedly.
I mean,
you gotta we gotta do our research, right?
I will be on the side of like, we don't know.
We don't know. Yeah,
There's a lot that we don't know. There's a lot that's being said. There's a lot of hearsay. But at the end of the day, there's a lot that we still don't know. But that's the thing about it, right? Before we knew the identity of the shooter, the talking points were already being made.
Bro, they were saying that
of who they thought it was.
Yeah,
right?
who they thought it was.
They were
but
saying,
they don't use allegedly. They just say this is the far left Antifa trans man who killed Charlie Kirk, and you're like, what?
They kept saying it was an illegal trans person. Yeah, it was a trans man that was illegal. They packaged everybody that they hated in one. It was a radical leftist, trans illegal. You hit mierda, loco. How do you do that?
Yo, that person un alcohol de verdad.
Everything. The bullets had manifestos on them. Like, yo, what? but I think that's the thing about it. Sometimes we gotta say we don't know,
We don't
and
know.
that's
And
okay.
that's okay. That's
And
okay.
that's okay.
Yo, I also see it like this. We also think about like a lot of these Congress, because there was also a lot of people, congressmen, senators, of like that were saying these things. I'm like, coño, you're in a position of power. Why would you say that? Like, be a good person. And be like,
Responsible
better be
individual.
responsible with your
Mhm.
words, bro. Be responsible. Like, yo, first of all, be like, yo, whoever did this, I'm not for this. That's the first thing you do as a leader.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not for this. I don't stand by this. Right. And I respect everybody that came out and was like, yo, you know what? I denounce like violence versus anyone. Charlie Kirk should have never been killed or shot
Mhm.
like that. That was disgusting. And anybody that celebrated some shit like that we saw, you're a sociopath because we saw that.
Yeah.
Everybody publicly saw this man get shot on the throat and it was disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? I don't agree with what he says. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you could debate the dude. Oh, yeah, I'm okay with slapping a nigga. But come on, to take his fucking life like that, and also
Yeah.
that's a bitch way to do it. Like, assassinate somebody, like
I see.
I-
Yeah.
you a bitch for doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But you are responsible to be like, yo, there's people that follow me, voted for me, but like, you sabe que this is not okay. Let's bring it together. This is America. We gotta come together. You see what I'm saying? But when you benefit from the divisiveness, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, there's also people like that have podcasts, bro, and they have an audience, bro. What you say to the audience is very important. It's very important. You tell them like, yo, that this is not okay. This is not okay. I'm not for this, and I hope we could come together. But if you come out right away, like, is this, is that, is these person, these are the people doing that to you, you're also feeding into this cultish, tribalist environment that we, and it's extreme. I feel like I go outside sometimes. I'm like, who is this person? They do something. Ya yo sé. Yo digo, ese tipo, ya yo sé con quién votó. And that's the
Yeah.
environment we live in. And that's not normal to be like,
And
yo,
it doesn't feel good, right? Like,
does
because
not
going
feel
out,
good.
like, and you see certain groups, and you're like, I caught myself one day. I was like, and then I was like, oh, that's not nice, Rose.
yeah.
You know, like that. Like, my initial thought right away was like, and then I was like, you don't even know them.
Yeah.
You don't even know them.
You don't even know them. I'm like, ese tipo, ese votó por somebody.
I will say I get a little bit like I think like the question of who you voted for, right?
Yeah.
I think it's an important one these days.
Yeah.
I think in the past you were like there were Republicans. If you voted for Republican, it was like okay, well maybe you're a fiscal fiscal Republican. You believe
That's
in fiscal responsibility. Differences of opinion. These days, it's like if you voted Republican, okay, that means you heard what this man had to say.
Yeah.
You heard that he called Mexicans rapists.
Yeah.
That he wants to take away women's women's rights, right?
Yeah.
You heard all the countless lines that he has said, and you said, "Yeah, that's the one that I'm going to go for."
Yeah.
I judge you a little harsher these days
Yeah.
because of that,
Yeah.
and that's why it's like when I ask you who would you vote for, if you say Trump, you're not with me. I don't fuck with you.
I know. So what are you guys doing? Are you unfollowing these people? What are you doing?
Even the whole January 6th, and you still was like, okay, that's okay, right?
There's a limit. There's a limit to how much grace we can give people. And the thing is, like sometimes, and again, it's not, and it's weird because I like it. Like I think it's also important to give people grace.
Yeah.
Like sometimes se fueron con la finta, and you're like, oh, Trump is a businessman, right? You like you said, like, oh, Trump is a businessman. He's going to run the country as a business, and maybe they didn't do enough research about what this man said.
And people living their life,
and people live in their life, and they don't.
They're busy.
They do their 9 to 5, and they can't, be focused in on this. But at the same time, I'm like, there's only so much grace that I can give you, right? And again, the thing is, if you tell me that the second time you voted for, the second time came around and you voted for Trump, after what he's done, after what he's said.
Yeah.
After having a proven track record of the amount of hate that this man spews, you still say I'm still gonna vote for this guy?
There's nothing.
I can't. I don't fuck with that.
Yeah, there's nothing because after something like that, it's like being in an abusive relationship and you're like somebody cheated on you and beat you and you bring them back until you get with them again. You're like, what else can they? There's nothing that they could do after that you're gonna leave them. They already did the worst thing. You already forgave them for everything. You already turned the blind eye. It's like being in a toxic relationship. You're like, there's nothing that this person could do. I got a friend, bro. Now, like, he loves Trump so much. Yeah, he's an immigrant, Latino. And I was like, and I swear to God, if Trump le dice a ese tipo, shoot your kids, he'll be like, what did they do now? That's the type of man. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Leave your wife, he will do it. But that's that's the level of like idealization he has of this man. And what do you guys think now that America is buying out TikTok? What do you guys' opinion? What do you think is gonna happen now with that?
Dangerous.
Yeah.
Dangerous what it is. We saw what happened with Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a rancid place.
Yeah.
It's a hateful place. I don't fuck with Twitter. I don't fuck with whatever. X.
Right?
X.
Like
I took it off.
I took it off
before
too.
they even transitioned to X, but the thing with buying TikTok is once again control, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
They saw, number one, TikTok was owned by China.
Was it owned by China? Who was
Is that
owned
what they
by?
were saying?
That's what they were saying. But it's owned by a company from Singapore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they felt like they had too much information on us.
Uh-huh.
They were collecting too much data on Americans.
Mm-hmm.
But then, TikTok is a place of a lot of information. People go live there, people post, it goes viral pretty quickly with certain subjects. And it became a place where people were talking truth about certain things and going against some of the policies. So, of course, they want to control what people hear, just like they want to control the press. Even to go speak to the president, the press now has to have premeditated questions that they approve for you to ask.
Oh, no way.
And whatever is you ask has to be pre-approved. So they want to control the media. So of course they're gonna go with hitting the younger generation right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the younger generation uses TikTok the most.
Damon.
Sorry. To clarify, because I was wrong. TikTok is the parent company is from China.
Okay.
So that it is that.
It is that.
Yeah. I was checking that.
I remember.
Oh, you did some research on the sidelines right now?
research.
I like this guy.
Ya tú sabes.
I like this.
Si no sabemos algo, we have this.
Yeah,
I wish people did that more often. Man, I'm not gonna lie, man. I feel like I live my life every single day going like, ¿qué es lo que está pasando hoy? And I feel like I've been consumed with politics in the United States. And I know that we're adults now and that we vote and we need to pay attention. But I feel like I'm living in a place that I'm consumed by this motherfucker, right? And I feel like as a Latino, it's hard for me to turn a blind eye, especially I do stand up, because I'm like, sometimes I get on stage, I feel like a lot of these people are looking at me like, who is this guy? What is he going to talk about? I feel the type of way already with him, even his presence even being here, right? Because there's so much negative propaganda versus our people. So sometimes I feel like I gotta talk about it. So like that, I'll talk about the elephant in the room, right? But I'm also tired because I feel like a lot of times I wake up in the morning, bro, and I get on YouTube and I'm watching videos.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And I feel like I'm consumed by this thing, this circus that's going on right now in this country. And I feel like it's also done like that purposely. Like, come on, man, let's take a break, bro.
You're not wrong. It's my best friend says it all. She's like, I don't know how you do it, Rose. I get you have a presence and you can speak about certain things, but I just don't like. She does not like to see me stressed about certain subjects.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, like you're over consuming all this negativity.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it does affect my creativity, right? Because I feel like I mentioned to you, I've called you one-on-one, like, yo, my God, you see what's happening? Are we going to bring this on stage? Because, we always have this conversation. Are we going to talk about these subjects on stage? Is it a good time? Is it too soon? It is a battle. And at the end of the day, though, I'm proud of you when you do speak about those things. So I appreciate seeing you on stage touch on some of these subjects.
Thank you.
Like it's needed. We have so many comics that just joke around about the regular joke stuff. We might take a hit with certain views because we do speak about it, but you know what? That's honorable.
So sweet.
I think everything is political these days. And I think it's hard to disassociate. It's not as easy as it once was. I think because of the fountains of information that we have TikTok, we have all the social media platforms telling us all the terrible news that's going on day in and day out. But for y'all specifically, you guys are comics,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I think it's imperative, like to talk about what's happening in the world. It's imperative. It's what you do. Uh, and some of the greatest comics said political stuff. You got George Carlin, who used to
Thank
do
you.
time and time again talk about politics, and it was and he's one of the greatest comedians of all time.
Ever.
So it's one of those things that's kind of like, yes, it's important to make people laugh. Yes, it's important to also never lose sight of that. Is that to entertain is important, but you also, part of living life is that we have to keep our our finger on the pulse of politics, because that affects our everyday lives. So you got to keep doing it, I think.
And find
That's for
that
me.
balance, right? At the same time, we do got to learn how to disconnect
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, because
Mm-hmm.
it is part of the division, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's
a balance.
It's a balance, because social media is great, marketing is great, um, but it can also then, like, let's say we consume it so much we really start hating and become them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's such a like.
It's the program. And also like people are so easily radicalized.
Exacto.
Right? I think there's so much information. There's also false information spreads so fast that when it comes, the reality and the truth comes out, it's really too late. You can't undo a lot of the false things you already spread out. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, when I worked at Voto Latino, it was like day in and day out. Every morning, I have to read the news.
Mm-hmm.
It's just bad news after bad news after
Bro,
bad news.
eso afecta a
And
uno,
you're just
mental.
like, my dad was like, "Yo, you look stressed. You don't look good." And it's true. After 6 years of doing it, you're just like, I can't. Like, this just and there's only so much. Like, you get overwhelmed by how much terrible news. You wake up and you're like, well, there's 5 news stories that we can talk about. All of them terrible shit that's happening. Like, oh, you got 10 videos of ICE kidnapping people.
Oh,
and you're
yeah.
just like, but what are we supposed to do with all this bad news? And I was always like, I always told my team, find positive news stories. See if we can find something positive, something that we can elevate, that is good news, that is positive for the community. And the thing is, media right now, it delves in negatives. It does not like to amplify positives. And that's the thing about it.
'Cause that's
That's where y'all come in.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that's like, to me, like, it's important to keep your finger on the pulse of politics, but also remind people that
We're
it's
human.
important it's important to provide the joy.
Unite us through the comedy as we're addressing
Yeah, I like that.
the subjects.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel? I feel like today's comedians have added, especially with the podcasters and stuff. Do you guys feel like how did they impact politics today?
Podcasters?
Yeah, I'm pretty like the comedians that's known like right now, the comedians that's known today. What do you guys think how they're affecting our culture and politics in United States of America? Because I have my own opinion. I want to see what you guys think.
They are key.
Uh-huh.
They are key in the
Mhm.
sense that we like to discard them because they're like, this is comedians with who just got podcasting equipment. Look at us, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's one of those things where, like, we like to discard them, but the reality is that there's a lot of they have a large young following.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why Trump went onto these podcasts.
Yeah.
There's a reason why they consistently try to reach out. They're being paid by the RNC.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's one of those things that, like, there's a lot of power when it comes to comics with podcasts.
Yeah.
They're influencers.
Yeah.
They're influencing people.
Yeah.
But that's why we also have to hold them accountable. You can't just be spreading out lies. You can't just be spreading propaganda. You have to also be held accountable.
You got to challenge them.
Yeah, because if you have millions of people listening to you, that's a lot of
That's
you
a lot
have
of people.
power.
You have
a lot of power. So at that point, you're not just another comic with a podcast.
Yes.
You have now a responsibility to be able to tell the truth, to be able to be truthful.
Okay.
Yes. I do feel like comedy, especially like the Austin comedy scene, has become more hacky. It's nothing but race jokes, trans jokes. I think a lot of these comedians that have podcasts have kind of destroyed us because they had these politicians come over and not challenge them. They'd ask them questions. They made them seem their craziness.
Likeable.
They normalized their craziness. And as a comedian, you got to be able to look at both sides and be like, oh, espérate, no, tú estás pasado. You see what I'm saying?
Mark Maron, I think, recently said something about like if Adolf Hitler was alive today, he'd be on podcast.
He would be on podcast.
He would be a guest on podcasts.
Yes.
I really like the Daily Show, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the Daily Show is kind of mostly left, right?
Yeah.
I would say.
Left leaning, yeah.
Then as in terms of, and I wanted to double check this before I said it. Joe Rogan does have the biggest or most viewed podcast. And correct me if I'm wrong, like usually he's very much right.
Mm-hmm.
But then lately he's been speaking up some things that maybe I think everyone can agree on.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a positive change, I think.
Yeah.
And what other comic?
Theo,
a small one.
There's Theo Vaughn. There's the Flagrant. Flagrant had, and I think Flagrant also did damage, bro. Like, and I've been a fan of Flagrant. I've been a fan of Andrew Schultz. I think he's hilarious.
Andrew
right?
Schultz also started shifting a bit, but to me it was a little too late.
No, he made it known that he voted for Trump.
He made it known.
You know, he's very
and
open
then he
about
felt dumb after when they put the little caps. You know,
and then like and I think a lot of times bro, like they had Trump on, bro, and they asked him, "Who do you think tried to kill you?" And they asked the question 5 times. Who do you think did it? Who do you think? 5 times you asked that same question. And then Trump was like, that's a very good question. I'm like, no, it's not a very good question because we all know who tried to do it. The dude is dead. It's a kid. Right? We know the name of the kid. Michael Crook. Who else would it? Who do you think? We know. Michael Crook. Who do you think did? Who else would it be? The dude with the rifle. So it's like asking questions like that, bro. Or like when you have a dude running for president of the United States, it's the stupidest thing that you could fucking do.
Because they're not equipped. They're not equipped. They're not equipped to be able to ask pertinent questions. They had Steiny and company. I forget what those dudes, the Nelk brothers or whatever.
Boys.
Yeah. So they had Benjamin Netanyahu.
Bro.
And you're just kind of like, why?
We're here to learn. We're here to learn from Benjamin Netanyahu.
Like,
learn
yeah,
what?
learn. You're not equipped
to be the most evil man on earth.
You're not equipped to have that conversation.
Yeah, I'm not even equipped to have that conversation.
I don't think any of us.
Any of us journalists should be the ones asking these damn questions. People
they're shutting up the journalists. They're not allowing the journalists to journal.
Yep. But that's why again we expect more from our comics now. We expect more. So the thing is, even with the Daily Show, with last week tonight, like those shows do thorough background checks. They fact check their stuff.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about it. Like they're funny, right? And people can say that they're left leaning, but at the same time, like, I mean, they're putting out facts out there.
Yeah,
that's true.
Like, that is my dream job. I hope to get to the level that I could do my comedy in a show like that. It does everything that we kind of do already, right? We're activists for our people and we do comedy. We like doing sketches. I love doing sketches. That show I feel like does it so well.
Yeah.
The way like those monologues are just
hilarious.
So funny. And then just the way they present themselves. Like I love it. Like it's just like I used to think SNL was my dream job. No, the Daily Show is.
Nah, I just want to work for me.
You know what? Yes. You know what? This is what we're doing right now. This is what we're doing right now.
Fuck that. I want to thank you guys for coming in today. I knew it was gonna be an interesting conversation. You know, all of us we think alike, and I have respect for both of you. You're fucking hilarious, Black Rose. Keep fucking shining. I thank you for coming. Norberto, tú eres el hermano mío from the Mexican side. I want you guys to drop in the comments, like, what do you guys think about the conversation? Add to it. What else you guys want us to talk about, right? Make sure you follow them, Norberto Briseño. He's all over the place, especially on TikTok. Y también a Black Rose. I am Black Rose, am I right?
I am Black Rose, NYC.
NYC. Bueno, señores, lo quiero mucho, and I'll see you next week, Wednesday. Hablamos.